Okay, so today we're going to be talking about narration and why narrators speak so slow. This is a video that I expect very few people to be interested in, but I don't know, man. I just really wanted to make it. If you don't know, I am an audiobook narrator. Not a particularly good one, but you know, I do what I can. I do have a video talking about my favorite audiobook narrators, so if you are looking for some really good ones, check it out up there and down below. But a lot of people speed up their audiobooks. Not everybody, but a lot of people. And today I want to talk about why the narration is so slow. I have 4 things that I'm going to talk about, and there's really no point to this video. The first reason that narrators speak so daggone slow is because reading out loud is just slower. When you read in your head, you don't have to have subvocalization, or at least not as much, which means you don't have to pronounce every word in your head. I still do, but I think it's just because I'm dyslexic. But for the average reader, reading in your head is just naturally slower than reading out loud. So if you physically read a book or read a book on ebook, you can just get through it faster than you can if you're listening to an audiobook on 1x speed. Going along with that, the next thing is because a narrator has to enunciate and articulate themselves really well. If you're rushing through a passage, 1, it doesn't sound good. 2, it's harder to understand. And 3, you're gonna make so many more mistakes. And so to have a clean audio file where you're not having to go back and retake literally everything, you have to move a little bit slower in order to get through it cleanly. But then also, it's just not fun listening to a narrator speak ridiculously fast where they're mumbling or stumbling over words, which is what happens if they read faster. So it makes more sense for them to read slowly, and then if you want to speed up the text, it's still clear, not text, if you want to speed up the audio file, it's still clear to your ear because they're speaking slowly and clearly, and you're just making it as fast as you want it to be. The third reason I'm going to talk about is conditioning of the reader. Have you ever watched a YouTube video on 1.5 speed or 2x speed, and then for whatever reason decided halfway through the video, I'm gonna slow this down, and then you put it on normal speed, and it sounds like the person is speaking through molasses? They're not. You've just conditioned your ear to listening to them talk a little bit faster, and when you slow them down, their natural pace sounds unnatural to you. If you're used to speeding up audiobooks, and that's something that you've conditioned yourself for, and it's something that you've accustomed yourself to, then 1x speed is going to sound so much slower to you than it really should, because your ear just isn't used to a normal dialogue. On the opposite end of that, giving an example in reverse, as a narrator, sometimes Corey, actually my husband, will put one of my audiobooks on to listen to it, and he listens to my audiobooks at 1.25 speed, and it drives me crazy because it sounds so unnatural to me. He thinks it sounds natural. He thinks that I sound like just a regular person talking at 1.25 speed, but I'm used to listening to me at 1x speed, and so when I hear myself sped up even just a little bit, it feels so uncomfortable to me. Even though I may speed up someone else's audiobook, I'm used to hearing me at 1x speed, so it just sounds wrong any other way. If you're used to speeding up your books and doing the opposite and slowing it down, it will sound wrong to you. Not because it is wrong, because of what you're conditioned to. Last, let's talk about performance. Let's say you want to watch a movie, but really all you want is the plot of the movie and you want to get through it really fast. Do you read the script of the movie really fast? Or do you want to sit down and watch the performance of the actors? Just reading through the script really quickly is going to be faster, and it's still going to give you the story that you're looking for, but you're missing out on the performance that you came for. The truth is that just reading a script, even if you're just reading out loud, is going to be a lot faster than performing the script. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna use a public domain book because I don't want to be copywritten. Let's just read it. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again. It seemed to me I stood by the iron gate leading to the drive, and for a while I could not enter, for the way was barred to me. There was a padlock and a chain upon the gate. I called in my dream to the lodge keeper and had no answer, and peering closer through the rusted spokes of the gate, I saw the lodge was uninhibited. I read through that really fast. It was also terribly boring to listen to. Last night, I dreamt I went to Manderley again. It seemed to me I stood by the iron gate leading to the drive, and for a while, I could not enter, for the way was barred to me. There was a padlock and a chain upon the gate. I called in my dream to the lodge keeper, and had no answer, and peering closer through the rusted spokes of the gate, I saw that the lodge was uninhibited. That's just a narrative paragraph, no dialogue or anything, so it's kind of boring anyway. But the point is, if you're performing something in order to actually invoke emotion and make it feel like a conversation, there has to be some sort of slowing down and tone and a little bit of drama to it. It feels more like someone's talking to you and less like someone's reading to you. And that just takes longer to do. Performing a script takes longer than reading a script. For me, I have a list of my favorite narrators, people that I listen to their books for their performance as much as for the story. I actually recently read Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I wanted to read it physically, but then I realized that Susie Jackson was the narrator, and she's one of my favorite audiobook narrators. So I got the audiobook just for Susie Jackson's performance, and I listened to her at one-time speed, even though I could have physically read the book way faster. I chose to listen to her performance because her performance adds so much to a story, in my opinion. Now, there are definitely narrators that are a lot more dramatic and want to add drama to every word. Those guys, you gotta speed them up, otherwise you die. But that's just a narration style. People are individuals, and the way they narrate is going to be individualistic. If you're gonna listen to someone that's a little bit more dramatic and likes to make things a little bit slower, speeding them up might sound more natural to you. But there are also narrators like Susie Jackson who I think narrates at a really normal feeling pace. For me, there are narrators that I can't speed up or can only speed up a tiny bit because I want their performance as much as I want their book. Their performance adds to the story, which is every narrator's goal. There are some narrators that I speed up more than I'm really comfortable with just to get through their performance because I really don't like the way they're narrating the story, but I still want the story, so I just speed them up so that I can only focus on the story and not get distracted by their performance. That's obviously not ideal. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with speeding up your audiobook. Listen to them however you're comfortable with, but if you were ever curious why audiobooks are so daggum slow, there you go. There's some information. Anyway, that's all I have for you today in regards to audiobook narration. I'd love to chat with you more about this in the comments if you have any questions or any more insight about this topic. I post videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.